Welcome back to part 3 of my dream Datsun 1200 build.
If it's rusty, we're into it!
My name's Matt, you're watching Hooked on Rust, and this is my Datsun 1200 Ute, or Datsun Sunny Truck, or Bakkie, depends where you are in the world. This is part 3 of building this Datsun 1200. Part 1, I told you where I was up to before we started filming, suicide doors, rear half of a chassis, etc. Part 2, we got the front working with airbag suspension. In this one, we're just going to be trying to tie up some loose ends, get some things finished and finalized, and make these wheels fit under these stock guards. I didn't post the video last week, but we've been doing a little bit of work in the background. Some of that work included cutting up the strut towers again, so that we could get more camber out of the front end to fit the wheels under these guards. This is compressed with the camber moved in, sticking proud of the strut. We made little diamond sort of shaped pockets that will fit over the holes and still allow enough room for the bag to poke out of the strut. And now the wheels are very close, but they are fitting. They are going up under the guard when we air out, and they're coming out without touching the guard when we air up. So that's a great success. To do that, we had to roll the fender lip of the guard. It does have a slight pull, but it still retains the original shape of the guard, which is something I really wanted. Early days, I could have just pumped the guards and be done with it, but I wanted to keep the front looking similar to the back, the stock shape of the guard and not being too flared. We have shaved all the holes in the radiator support, any unnecessary holes, just to clean that up a little bit. We have also cut out the radiator support to suit the bigger radiator that is going to be coming out of the rotary Hilux. We've cut a hole to the right size. We need to do some bracing, but that radiator should bolt in pretty problem free, so we're lucky with that. We've done a little bit of bodywork to these guards in other areas other than just rolling the lip. This one had a big dint here, and we have a rust hole we need to fix down the bottom here. The other side was actually really bad. It was caved in all in the front section, so we decided to scrap that one. Luckily enough, we have a Datsun wrecker. That guy, Charlie, you can find him on Facebook. He's a Canberra local like me. Went past his house, we picked up a genuine guard that was really straight, really good condition, 50 bucks. What a legend. That guard has saved us a bunch of time on bodywork for that quarter. I think I want to show you just really quickly how you can quickly tell a genuine guard versus an aftermarket guard. Turns out this car had aftermarket guards on both sides. So you see here where it mounts on the inside, it's completely flat. That is an aftermarket guard and a dead giveaway. A genuine guard has this fold over and return and then goes down. So that's a genuine guard. So they line up a lot better with the bonnet, whereas with the aftermarket guard, you have to stuff around a lot. So in my case, needing a small roll, etc., that was a major find. So yeah, thank you, Charlie. We got another diff. I've been saying we've been getting one built, but I've just been collecting parts. So I had an R31 diff, I had a welded center and a 4-1 gear. After talking to someone who reached out on the YouTube channel, thank you very much, he said don't even bother with the 4-1. Even with the small wheels, this thing is going to go too fast. The gear ratio is too low. Being an NA Bridgeport and a street car just wanting to have fun, he suggested going a 4.8 diff ratio, even a 5.1. I couldn't find anything locally at that kind of ratio, but I did find a 4.6 Hilux diff with the factory LSD center for 400 bucks. So I've gone and picked that up. I'm in the process of cutting all the brackets off it, and I've got the R31 brakes off the other diff, so we'll be able to convert it to R31 discs and brake calipers, etc., and ditch the drum setup off the Hilux diff. So that was a good find and a good score. In terms of putting the NA rotor in, we're going to take the rotary Hilux and put it on the dyno. It needs a little bit of transient throttle adjustments and idle adjustments, and I'd like to do it while it's in that car running good before we swap it out into here. So we'll put that on the dyno, see what it makes, probably 150 horsepower if I'm lucky. Once that happens, that motor is getting yanked out. I'm going to start making mounts for this and get it all sorted. We have like 2 months, 2 and a bit months left until the event. It's looking like we're gonna have to trailer the car there. It has to be rolling. I'm gonna get it rolling. And if the motor's in and starting, that's a bonus. If the car drives, that's amazing. So we're gonna need to continue finishing all the welding in that engine bay, get that motor dynoed, get it pulled out in here, and then we'll paint the engine bay. We'll do our darn tootin' best. We just have a lot of welding and cutting and finishing to do, especially on the Toyota Surf rear window. Function's great, but I need to finish all the bodywork off around that, and a lot of welding still to do. It's these finicky little bits of finishing things that just take so long. Oh yeah, we drilled out all the spot welds on the cross member to take the original engine mounts off. We took 20 mil out of that by cutting a section where I think the sump's gonna go. I made like a little plate to weld in there. I've only tacked that back in because I'm not sure how low the sump on the rotary is going to sit. We also have cut up a KE70 subframe, taken the steering rack mounts out of that because we have a KE70 steering rack. Once we figure out the heights, I'll weld that onto this factory cross member. I've also finished welding in the wheel tubs on the underside and cutting them all back and grinding them somewhat smooth. It's the underside of the car, but they got to look somewhat presentable. Yeah, all this under here. I've spent a bit of time on this one. It looks good. I still need to do the inside here. Once we get all these done and the engine bay done, we can Raptor coat all under here as well and get that finalized. Hopefully you can see here's a bit of the beating that my old boy did on the guards. He just folded that lip up with a hammer and a dolly and it's come up pretty good. Haven't really done anything more exciting. We haven't really worked on our wing yet. I'm trying to focus on just moving my way from the front back. I didn't really do any recording on the work we have done because it's just been headphones in, podcast playing, and doing the stuff. We have started on cleaning up these strut tops in the engine bay as well. This is a bit of a template cut out of cardboard. We're going to put some 5mm plate over the entire strut top, and we will inset the coilover studs pointing downwards, weld them up. It'll look flush. We'll have to bolt it on from underneath, which will be annoying, but it'll look much better in the engine bay. And we've decided we're just going to go with a bit of a step down to, what would you call this bit? The upper chassis, the guard holder honorer, the bit where it used to be welded onto. We're getting a lot of pieces sort of finalized in terms of suspension, etc. I want to hear your comments on what color you think this ute should be painted. I'm either going to go creamy, beautiful milky white, or some other pastel blue or green. I'm undecided. I don't know. But all the suspension arms and stuff, I want to get powder coated or painted one color. What color should that be? A lot of people do bronze these days, which looks great. I think you can't go wrong with a titanium gray. Silver also looks really good. I don't know. What do you think? I'm thinking like all these suspension arms and the forelink in the back should either match this sort of silver, that still needs to be repainted, or in my drift car, we done the roll cage and stuff in this titanium sort of grey colour, but then like bronzy goldy would look really cool as well. Even like copper. I'm trying to think what pieces would actually be that colour. It would be forelink arms, front lower control arms, cross member, sway bar, LCAs, caster arms against like white maybe. A special thank you just right now to everyone that's commented, liked and subscribed. In the last video and across the board really, we've had some people that can consistently comment and some people that have found me on Facebook and stuff and reached out. It's really awesome. Like the guy mentioning the diff ratio, not to waste my time. I've taken that information on board. As I've said in previous videos, I'm not a professional. This is like, I'm learning to do all of this on this car in my shed at home. So yeah, if you have any constructive criticism, drop it in the comments or any kind words, please feel free. Puts a smile on my face and I really appreciate it. So yeah, thanks to everyone that's done that. I've already got a vision for version 2 of this. This ute could become something completely different. I'm not going to give it away, but you think you know what's happening? There's more surprises still to come. So my plans as of right now are sand all this kind of stuff. There's another hole there I've got to fill in. Grind all these welds back smooth. Cut some metal. Get this situated. Start working on the firewall. I plan to do that this weekend or this week, but I think I might just end the video there. Once we get the metalwork in this bay sort of done, the old boy's going to help me sand it all, bog it all, prep it all for paint. Oh, that's another thing. I got this Airlift 3P kit. Can I put bigger lines on it to make it go faster? Up and down faster? Thank you all again for watching. The views and comments and likes has been overwhelming. Like, you guys are freaking sick. I'm glad you're loving it. Bit of a slow episode this one, but the next one on the Datsun, which may be a couple weeks before it comes out, will involve some engine related things and a diff, etc. That'll be a big one. I'll try and film as much as I can for you lot. As for right now, I'm going to go back to welding and grinding, but like, comment, subscribe. Thank you.